Right. Tally ho. So, I've got to do it a little bit different. Fair comment. I'll tell you all about the Bing Bong in a minute. Very interesting the way that turned out, that story. What I'm doing is I'm not showing anything. Look, listen, let me tell you about the word assume. You can assume what you like about what I'm doing on my desk, alright? I've got a microscope here, I'll show you in a minute, there's other stuff going on. The word assume makes an arse of you and me, so don't assume anything. But I was going to be using a different method for administering my self-medication. I must tell you about self-medication quickly while we're on this subject, since we've got to tidy a few things up. Let's stay on the subject. I pursued this concept of legal cannabis for a reason. It's quite a long story, but very briefly, I've spoken to the doctors about it, a number of doctors about it. I've taken a lot of advice from a lot of people that are involved with medicinal cannabis, and found that one of the problems that I was having is solved extremely well with cannabis. So much so that it changes my life considerably. So much so that it's given me quite a lot of... Well, it's actually... Well, you decide what it's doing for me. I know what it's doing for me, how I feel. What it's, don't assume. Okay, you're gathering facts. So's the bleeding FBI. But don't assume. Please, it's not fair. Well, I need a bleeding lawyer to prove that one, for Christ's sakes. Come on, don't be naughty. You can be naughty, I won't be naughty. I'm not being naughty. Told you about the paraphernalia. Oh, there's a dog over there. Oh, let's have a look at me. Oh, Maggie moves. It's like one of those porn channels, isn't it? Oh, he's going to show his Bing Bong. No, he's not. Oh, cool, well, ambidextrous camera. So, oh dear. Don't assume. I'll find some music to cover this bloody racket up. Right, what should I put on my radio? Now, here's some interesting sound effects. I was playing around with sound effects earlier. I've got this buzz box. Listen to my buzz box. You won't believe my buzz box. Listen carefully. You hear that? Isn't that clever? Yeah, I still smoke a little bit of tobacco now. Oh, sorry. I was just going to get a Bing Bong. I've been Bing Bonged. Bing Bong, me. No. I was going to cheat. Oh, all right, I'll show you. I've got a fag here and I have to have a puff. Did you like the sound effect? Clever, wasn't it? It sounded just like a... Right, yeah, didn't it? Right, anyway, back to the subject. My medication was ever so nice. I've had lots of stuff happen. I'll tell you about the medication later because it's clear I'm getting what I needed of a decent supply of good, clean medicinal cannabis. Also, I've had to be aware of something, and I'll deal with it straight away because it's directly relevant to the ticking off I got and how by the grace of God that happened, because otherwise I would not have found this out. The bong that I was using, although my thinking on it was the cigarettes was a bad way of taking it, the pipe was a bad way of taking it, which are things I'll talk about later with the reasons, and as we go and as I get more better at doing this, I'll start to show you, I don't know which bleeding side it is now, but one of these sides, when it comes up on there, there's going to be, it should be that side. No, it fucking isn't it? Oh, I don't bloody know. One of these times, you can work it out for yourselves, Christ sakes. There'll be the information, the data. So as I fish it out, and as I start, I'm not going to do a modern day Jack Hargreaves on cannabis, I'm afraid. Sorry, Jack, buddy boy. But, man, we all remember and love you for what you were. This is just me riding on your wake, mate, because I have something I need to say. And like you did with myxomatosis, mate, you had something to say, and you blooming well said it, and I'll take me out off to you. So anyway, this I met some people because of this. I was introduced, and nothing to do actually. Well, it was to do with the internet. But one of that, like those 6 degrees of separation things. Somebody knew somebody who passed on something else. And I ended up with a very nice supplier, very good medicine. And he gave it to me, man. He gave me a little bit of his own personal supply of medicinal cannabis. Somebody else who used medicinal cannabis for sinner with asthma, which was very interesting, which is another part of my story. So much of these stories are linking up. I'm convinced this is going to be a very educational journey for us all, because I'm loving it already. I've learned so much this past week. Look at that, how nice. I've forgotten about the fag. I was so definitely, I was going to have a drag of that, another drag of that. Up the way. Anyway, somebody's buy me some teeth, will you? It's terrible. Don't you paint the fucking things on, alright? Don't you go painting things on this. If it gets popular, and if I start turning this on and find horrible things popping up yet, I'm not going to be happy. I want to cut. No, I do. I want lots of people to see it because I do have something to say. It's educational. Getting waylaid. I'm having medication. Later, I've got a way of dealing with that. I'll talk to you about that. Right, the bong. The reason. The pipe's too hot, and I thought, well, okay, well, it's a good way of not having to take the tobacco in, because the tobacco with the cannabis. Anybody who smokes joints, stop immediately. If you must smoke your tobacco separate to your cannabis, because together they make the whole thing, I think it was ridiculous, 5 times worse or something. Significantly worse. Bad enough for you to think, ooh. Seriously, I'll fish that data out for you. I'm having trouble at the moment because I can't remember where I found this. But I will get there, I promise you. But it's a little bit down on the list of priorities at the moment because so much happened this week. As you can imagine, I took a bit of a leap of faith. Okay, I got away with just a ticking off. It could have been them coming through that door, mate. I was expecting it. I thought, well, they're going to fucking have me for this. But they're going to, yeah. But it didn't happen. I was pleased with it turned out, which ties up to another story which I must tell you, which is very interesting. There's a lot of interesting good news that's come out of this already. It's going to take me ages catching up with that, let alone what else I want to try and tell you and show you. Because I'm going to show you loads of stuff about all sorts of things to do with medicinal cannabis and the state of things at the moment, because I've had to wriggle out of some blooming corners, I can tell you. And I want to pass that on so you can. Not illegal stuff, just the system, the bureaucracy these days seems to bury you so deep that you can't do anything. You can't even grab for the side. Well, I want to try and be the bloody hand that dips into the water and pulls you out, alright? You know, or helps to pull you out. We all need a hand now and again. And I've found a hand just by doing this. People have helped me. Really have. Hey, listen to that blooming sound of my chest, eh? I'm getting some good stuff. Anyway, I've dropped right off on my blooming meds from the doctors. It's great, I'm loving it. But anyway, the bing bong. My thinking was, as usual, right, I've got it here still, and I did have it out because I wanted to show you. What I've done, this is water, okay? I'm sorry if I don't care if it's fucking pissed off, I course the cock up, I'm going to fix it. It's made out of a bottle. You probably see them lying around the blooming ditches and stuff with kids. But sometimes it's only got one hole, sometimes it's got 2. If you see people using these things, pass this message on to them, okay? I'm going to back it up with the facts because one of the people I met who passed this information on to me knows all about it and why this is so dangerous. And I'm in the process now, because I didn't understand half of it, but I understood enough of it to make me realise I've got to stop doing that now. And so I'll pass as much of that on. That's a priority. That is, don't worry, that is a priority. And As you can see from the cover note, I've made sure that's going to be noted as a priority. But anyway, the thinking was that the this thing here, where the cannabis goes in and it's heated, where in a pipe you put that close to your mouth and suck in all that hot stuff, and so you're damaging stuff with that hot air alone, let alone all the other stuff that's going on. So the thinking with this machine, this thing, the thing that is, in fact, the similarity is a little bit uncanny when I call it Obama, because it's a deceptive little motherfucker. The bomb. Oh, Mr. Obama, I don't know about him. Where's he from? Canada or something? I don't know. I'm sorry, though. I know about much about America as Americans know about Cornwall. I don't know. Pirates come from there, don't they? I don't know. Is he an Indian country or cowboy? I don't know. No, I love it, dear, that you know this. Anyway, so hot air in water, not only filtering out, cooling it down, but in my thinking to filtering out any of the, because the problem that you will have, you're burning a plant matter here, so you're going to be breathing in all the small burnt particles of stuff. My thinking is it's going to filter that out, and that is indeed these colours here. This is a condensate of the oils. As they go down through the different temperatures where they're going to condensate on the side, they'll condensate on the side here rather than down inside my lungs. So my thinking's going down in that direction. However, it's something to do with, I'm not even going to start to explain it until this man's made my mind clear on it. I know it's something that's a problem. I'm just telling you as it is. This is the way it's going to be, I'm afraid. I told you it's going to be candid. This is as candid as I can get. So